Hello guys and welcome to today's web development video, and in this episode what we are going to cover up is a mini project in which I'm working on, and this mini project is a card based mini object. I tried to make a gallery without using any JavaScript, and in future if I think that this might be a good practice, I will make a video treating this whole code or this whole project with JavaScript also. So right here I have some cards. If I hover over them, they are slightly going to look like this. This is just like basic thing, and you could make like on my the first class of coding. You could make on John strip and any other headline on that, and this could be done by rather than putting in markup, you could done it by dynamically through the JavaScript. We are going to cover that part up in future, okay, hopefully. But today's video is for generally for beginner level, making cards up and how this whole website is looking like this. So right here I have in my Visual Studio Code, I have a blank index.html, and one thing for sure only we are going to use is one thing, which is our HTML and CSS. Okay, we have a blank page of HTML, we have blank page of CSS, you could see like this, and hopefully we are good to start. So the first thing I wanted to do right here is to start by writing the basic markup language code. And for basic markup language code, also I have some images I want to show you guys all, that I have some images. You also need to have some images. If you want to add 3 images, you could add much images you want. And this is pretty basic algorithm that once we make one box, we could manipulate or we could duplicate that box thousands or many infinitely times we want that. Okay, so let's start with markup language part. So the first thing I wanted to do is paste some boilerplate. So let me paste a boilerplate and change this name to amazing box hovering gallery. You could place anything in the title, it's your choice. And in my this, let's make me a container. So the reason I am making container to make all things in a perfect manner. As you go to my website, let's go to this. You could see all the work is in a perfect manner in somehow packed. So I want this to be half packed on like that. So we are going to use that stuff. Okay, another thing I want to have is open my live server. This is in VS Code extension. You could download it from the extension bar right here. Okay, so hopefully you download it, and if you watch my videos, previous videos on CSS web development or markup language, you are probably full enough good to start coding like this. Okay, so we are going to start over by like just we create a container. In that container, what I think, let's first make our main priority to what we call that this box. Okay, we are going to make our first priority to making these boxes, and after that we make the boxes, we are going to split it up all the text we want. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, so in my this page, let me go and create a box first of all. So I'm going to create a div with a class of box, and that box class, what I'm going to create is I put an image, and let's put an image source right here, slash, and you could put any image you want, and in alt you could put any alternate text in case the image is not available but you have to show. And in my box, after putting my image, at the end of the image, what I'm going to do is create another div with a class of info, which is going to be this thing. Let me show 1 second. So this is going to be this heading and all that stuff right here, the button and all that stuff. So right down here, what I'm going to do is write h1 heading 1, and after that I'm going to write a p with a lorem 20. I think 20 is pretty enough. Okay, and after that I'm going to create a button with a. Okay, and I'm using Emmet. Okay, so pretty sure you know all about that if you watch my previous video. If you don't, please go down there and watch them all out. It's on my channel. Okay, so I created a button and all that stuff. Let me save this file, and if I go to my browser and to my this page, it will look like a crap, and obviously it's not looking good. But so we are going to use our CSS part, and it's going to be pretty exciting. And now what I want to do is make these box two timer, and after that I want to save. And it's not looking so good, however, so I'm not going to do anything like that. Okay, so this is all about my HTML markup part. I want to have right down here. Okay, so in my uh, head I want to put a link to CSS file, and the CSS file I name is index.css, and let's save this. So this is all we need to do, and right down here all the basic stuff you always need to do is margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box, and body I want to have. In my body, what I like in this is if I have a pretty elegant color in the behind of all that scene, all in my body, it's look very good, and it's like very good, and white is not like that. So in my body, what I wanted to do is put a background, okay, of slight dark, not dark, not that much of dark, but slight dark. Okay, so this is look like this. Okay, and another thing I want to have is only font family, because these are the all things. Randomly pick any font family you want to pick. Okay, it's on of your choice. Okay, so this is going to look like this, and I had to change the images so that it up, look that much of good. So let me grab this images, took this one image, now grab this part apart and grab this image. So all image I had to pick it up, and these are going to look very drastic and not good so much, however. But okay, we are not going to dive on it right now. So now let's jump to CSS part. In CSS, we in my resetting part I need to do this, in my that part I need to do this, and in my A what I want to do is put a color of, let's do not do this, but one thing for sure I want to have is text decoration to be none, and not anything other like that. So let's grab the container, and we could now switch to the container part. Container part, what I wanted to do is give it a width of 100%, so just to make sure all that stuff. Now what I want to do, if I go to my final project, piece of project, so you could see that in my final piece of project, I have all the images and all the text up in certainly manner in between, in the center, you could say. So how I did this is by just placing display flex and align item. uh, what it gonna do is it will push all the things into center which under the container. Okay, align item, justify content also going to be center, justify content center. And just by doing that, I think that I'm good pretty enough. And one thing I wanted to also do is margin 3 rem 0, and this is for making it good. You could do anything you want to do. And now if I go, okay, so refresh this one more time, what's happening. So uh, nothing to have shown to us. Okay, so we have to fix this thing by doing something with the box. Okay, so let's start with the box part. Okay, in the box part I don't need anything more than enough, but what I need is width of 340 pixel, and height of, like, what do I do, give it 370 pixel, is that enough? Let's see. And position of relative, and the reason why I'm giving the position relative, because I'm doing much more stuff right down here. Okay, and I want that to be all that stuff to be look pretty good, and I'm going to explain it after I'm in that manner when I'm doing this, and I am adding some transition for which make things look little ease in out. Okay, and after that I want to add some margin right there from top and bottom, no margin from left and right. I want to add 1 em, and this should be good, I think. So let's go to website, and these are in pretty center, you could see that. Okay, one thing which might bothering me is right now is this whole box image stuff is not looking so good. So let's put box image width 100%, height 100%, so that they go to be in perfect manner. Okay, why they are coming like this? What's happening with them? Display flags, align items center, justify content center. What's happening? So what I think happening right down here is something wrong in my markup. I think so. See what div box. Oh, my div box is far away. Enough or is not right there. So what I needed to do is end. I had to end my div box. Okay. Uh, perfectly. Okay. Because what's happening is I have to explain that this is div info, but I don't close div box, and this is the reason why this happening. So I have to close them all one by one. Okay, this is for div. Okay, and I had to remove this one is for container, I think. You know? Okay, so this is good. Now let's go to browser and see. Now it's look good. So this is how you could get these all things right down like this. It's something missing right down in the markup language. I just fixed out. And in my position, I have to in my box image I have to do some more things. Object fit, I have to write contain, and if I go to now, it doesn't make things much more good, but we have to deal with that all stuff. Position, relative, not relative, I think absolute I have to put. And once I put absolute, all the kind thing is going to be upwards. Okay, so this is all I need to in my box image. Oh, one thing I have to put cover right down here for making things correct, not contain. What this property generally do is they generally say that cover all that space of the box where the image is situated. So now it's covered, I think. So So after my this, what I needed to do is create box info, and in my box info like this, and in my box info, first thing I need is position to be absolute, okay, and color to be FFF, white color, and padding, add some padding to this, padding 1 em, it should be good. Let's see if it, so it's look like this, okay, and transform translate x y 200 30 pixel, just like that. I think should work. So so if you see my last final product, so what my plan is generally is that the text is uh, not in the box, but after we hover over it, text should come up. Okay, so how could I do right down here is by just opacity, but I need transition in minus 20 pixel. And once we got this position absolute, we could use like top 12 em. I think it should be good far enough for us. from top we need 12 in. Let's just remove this one from right here, and if I go now top, I need 12 em, and I need transition of all 0.5 second is in. Okay, and I need opacity of 0. This is because that what I need is when box dot info, sorry, box hover, when in box we got the hover, what I want to do with info is I want the opacity to be 1. Also I want the transform property in which I put, sorry, transform property in which I put translate y, I want to put 0. So it should be good. Let's see what's happened right now. So if I do like this, it should be look like this, and it's a pretty good thing we could do, and it's look very nice, just like this. Now this is my info thing I want to do into my info. I also want to do in my info is what I think, not my info. I want to do something in my just like overlay. If we go to my final product, the thing we need now is just this overlay, this bunch of color of overlay. So you could use different colors if you want. I'm using linear gradient and just simple thing, doing some opacity. So how could you get this? So one thing I also want to do is if you go to the, let's say here, you could see uh, till this point I don't think that you see, but the cursor of mine of, or you could say, or the user just playing for some time for the text cursor or for other time the default cursor. So I want that in my info the cursor should be default. So it should be the pretty same cursor we have always. So just like this. And now one thing I also want to do is display block. And the reason why I'm doing this is to play with z index and all that stuff also. So what I want to do now is in my box I'm going to create a post element, or you could say before class. Okay, most people call this post element. So in this, what we need to activate this, you could say, is content. I'm going to put null. Then it need width. I'm going to give it 100%. Then it want height. I'm going to give it a width of and height of 100%. Top 0, left 0. So it should cover all that box. Okay. Once it cover the whole box, let's put display block in right there and give it a background color, so we could see background linear gradient 45 tick, uh, pink, orange, yellow. I think it should be a good match for everyone. So these are looking like this. Okay, so why they are coming on the top of that one is because we don't have position absolute. Once we got the position absolute, let's see, boom, they are underneath these all boxes. Okay, but we can't see them. We can't see them because of the boxes or the z index. We have to put this is all that stuff we need to do with the z index. Okay, so now I have to put bunch of things like z index, transitions, and many other cool stuff. So z index I want to have is 2, transition or zero point 0.5 second is in. So it would cover these all. What z-index generally do is it takes up the whole space, or you could say z-index generally put the much more value right down here the much it will closer to your screen, just like that. Simple as enough that. Okay, don't make this big far enough, more crazy. Okay, let's put it opacity of 0. And what I want to do in my box, if I hover, so what I want to do in my before is I want to do is opacity 0.75. I should think it should be good opacity. So now if I go, you could look like this, and you will see the text is not looking good. So what we could do, so we could go to here, and we could put Z index. You remember we put in info display block, this is why, and we will put 2. So it will look like this, boom, and it's looking pretty good. Okay, and you could change the color. I just knew this linear gradient very well, so I used this one. And now we are very close to making our project complete up. So this is all that stuff we are getting to it. Okay, so now what we need to do next is the info styling. Okay, and then we jump into other stuff. So let me go to my VS Code, and now let's do thing for a button, paragraph, and many other cool stuff. Okay, so what I wanted to do, just I have only one button in my whole stuff, so I'm going to do button. I'm going to give it a padding of 0.4 gram from top and bottom, and 0.8 gram from left and right. And I want to give it a margin of left from top and bottom. I want to give it a 1 em of margin, and from left and right I don't want any margin. In my info, I want one thing, which is padding, and I want padding of 1 em. So and also I want to, in my button, border of none, background of 333. Okay, should be good. And in my button A, what I want to do is color EE, and when we hover over the button A, hover, comma, button, hover, because I'm going to do changing two things. One is background, which I'm going to change in 2 to 2, and color of text color, you could say, which I'm going to change in EE. And what that means is it 2 to 2 is slightly darker. I will show you. First thing, let's put it a cursor of pointer. Now if I go to my website and go to text, it will look like this. It will look like this, and it's pretty good. Okay, so what I use generally is padding, then I use margin, border, none, cursor, pointer. Cursor is generally for I cursor, you all know that stuff. Okay, so we are free from all this stuff. Now let's deal with the dot info h1. I want the color to be EE or 333. Let's put up what we could do, font size of 4M. If I go to my website, it will look very big. That much font size. Want font size of 2 RAM, and it should be good. Yeah, it's good. Also, I want padding of 0 1 em from top and bottom, and left and right 0. So let's go and see what we got, and it's much more bigger. So let's give it 1.5 em. See now it's also much more bigger. So what I want to do is go to my info class, and in my top where write this, I write 10, and now it should be good. Now I think we are all set it up, and the last thing, or the thing I want, in actual website we see some box shadow around the box, and also we see the card is but become some little bigger. So this is all the thing we need to make this card alive. So in my box, if somebody hover, so I want to scale it, not like this, transform, scale 1.09. In one it is like original, and you could increase it by 0.9, 0.5, like that, 1.05. Okay, and I want also a box shadow. To activate box shadow, first is 0, then 10 pixels, then you have to give the color you want to have. So uh, white color. So if I now go to my website, okay, so what I had to go through is 0, 0. Let's see, now it should be good. So now it's good. So this is how you could get these effects. So now it's the same like this. Okay, and now we have only to deal with the this text right down here, and this text right down here. So let me just copy this thing from right here and go to my VS Code, and in my markup language I didn't write that. To make all things good, I didn't write that. Okay, so before my container I will write a h1 with a main HED, which means main heading, and paste that all stuff. So this is the main h1, and firstly let's deal with main HED. Okay, so let's go to index.css, go to top, and right here main HD, and in main HD I could give it a color of white, and font weight of 300, font size of 2.5 gram. I think it should be well good. If I now go to my real website, it will look like this. So now let's give the font family, because this font family is not looking good. Let's give it this random ones, and text align center, center, margin, top, 2 em, not 2 em, 7 em, and this should be good enough. So now, no, not 7 em, 3 em it's good. 2 em, margin, bottom, and 5 em. So it just like same like all other things. Okay, so this is our text. Now what I need, one more thing I need is this on my first coding class, and these like headlines like in we have in most of the net gallery or browser galleries. Okay, so I'm going to create a primary HD, and I have to not like this, go to my this, and now I had to put it just underneath the other ones. Welcome to beautiful movements. Primary actually I have to put just underneath the main actually. Okay, and now in my this, let's paste this and go to CSS part. Okay, so uh, let's give it a color of white, font weight of 300, font size of 2 ram, small than this, small than the other one. Font family, this font family, this one. So okay, just I want to give one more thing, which is margin left of 3 em, and it should be good. So now it's good. So this is all we need to do to making this. Hopefully you enjoy this. You could duplicate the container if you want, just for showing that this is not for only div container. I'm going to copy from right down here, two of them, and now if I go to my browser, just for showing that you could make much more that you want. And after the ending, right here, just underneath the first container, let's create another h1 with primary he and John per day, just like that. And we need to do nothing. It should look like the same. So this is how you could get these galleries. We will work hopefully in future on these ones, these project. Just one thing for sure, this is not a responsive, okay, and I don't like this one part of this, okay. In modal view it's not looking good. It's only for our laptops or tablets for somehow, but it's not good for phone. So this is how you could get the this final result. Something is different from this, and the reason behind this is because I don't duplicate the first one. Okay, I made it by my own. So this is how you could get this one, and hopefully you enjoy this mini project, and I am trying to make a mini project series. Hopefully you support that one, okay. So uh, this is all enough. Like and share this video, subscribe the channel, and share with all your friends. Happy coding. Bye bye.